All right, so we're back. Technical difficulties are continuing for the most part, and I figured we're gonna do a tier list for the Phase 4 of the MCU now that Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is out. Phase 4 is officially done, which means we're now moving into Phase 5, which Phase 5 is going to have a lot of the structure that a lot of people have been requesting for basically the last 2 years with the movies and shows that we've received, which is actually going to have a main villain in the form of Kang, and we're going to be moving towards the Avengers movies, both Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty. So let's see. I don't think it's in any major order, so we're just going to go from left to right. What if? Oh boy. I know a lot of people who do not like What If. I am not one of them. I enjoyed What If, so we're going to drop What If in the A column.
Oh, yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
And the reason why What If's basically going in the A column has everything to do with like the last 2 episodes forming the multiversal Justice League Avengers to take on an Ultron that's like eating entire galaxies in the middle of a fight. We got Black Widow. That's a C.
I mean, it's alright. Like, overrated as fuck, in my opinion. I mean,
like, it's okay. Like, that's the only thing that you can really say about Black Widow. It's decent. It doesn't deserve to be in the D column, so it's definitely C. I don't remember the name of the main villain from Black Widow. Upsides from Black Widow, we got Red Guardian and we got Yelena as the new Black Widow, and the torch is passed off. And we also got Rachel Weisz. Oh my god, we got Rachel Weisz. Whew. I've had a crush on Rachel Weisz since I was like 14, and that woman is still gorgeous.
Hey baby, you look so good. I wish I could plant you and grow a whole field of y'all.
We got, what's next? Eternals. I'm gonna put Eternals as a C.
I mean, it's alright.
That's kind of surprising for me because I really enjoyed Eternals. I had a whole lot of fun with Eternals, but Eternals definitely suffers from some pacing issues, and I can understand where a lot of people wouldn't be able to enjoy it as much as I did because of the amount of exposition and information that they throw at you and terms that they throw at you in hope that you're going to understand them, basically. And it kind of more or less fell over flat. I think Chloe Zhao did a really good job introducing the characters, or at least I should say the main characters, and giving them personality. All of the Eternals have their own individual personalities, and even the Eternals who don't really get a lot of screen time, like Makari and Druig, they end up become fan favorites. So I'm gonna drop Eternals at a C. But for me, realistically, if it had a better script and I would say a better villain and it utilized the deviants a little bit better, it'd probably be in the B column. But nah, C's just fine. Thor Love and Thunder. Oh boy, that's actually a D for me.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
I think Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie we ever received. That's saying a lot because the first Thor movie was kind of mid. The second Thor movie, I liked it. It had a really dark tone, but it had pacing issues, which is something that I feel as though Thor Love and Thunder also suffered from. They really shouldn't have adapted Gore. They could have adapted any other villain, but Gore is... If the director for Thor The Dark World had done the Gore storyline, I think Love and Thunder would have been a fantastic movie. But I feel as though where Taika Waititi basically hit the nail on the head with Thor Ragnarok, where it was like the perfect blend of both humor and action and emotion, way too much comedy is poured into Love and Thunder to the point that it kind of ruins a lot of the really emotional scenes that it attempts to set up, which kind of sucks because it deserves to really be one of the best Marvel movies ever made with Gore being one of probably the best villains that they've ever introduced. And I like the fact that people were able to see that Christian Bale's Gore is absolutely fantastic. He just has nothing to do in this movie. Miss Marvel, that is an A. I love Miss Marvel. I thought Miss Marvel was great. I stayed up every single, like, that is a mark of a great show, to get me to stay up until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in order to watch you the moment that you come out. I did it for What If. I did it for Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel was great. I think it had really dope ass music. The music in this show was absolutely fantastic, and it was a coming of age story. I'm a sucker for a good solid comic book coming of age story. So Miss Marvel deserves its A slot. And it's interesting hearing a lot of the rumors coming out about the Marvels that we're going to be seeing later on, about them talking about how the Marvels is basically going to be a clash of identities, with Miss Marvel being the one in the middle that kind of acts as the glue to keep everything together. Because I don't know if you realize, but Monica Rambeau is not going to be happy to see Captain Marvel, like, in any way, shape, or form. She idolized her when she was a kid, but a lot of shit has happened. Like, Carol never came back. Her mother suffered and died through cancer. So Monica is definitely going to have a ton of beef with Carol that they're going to have to work throughout the movie. WandaVision, S tier.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Across the board, 100%. It's definitely the best of the Disney Phase 4 shows that they've put out. It's fantastic. Elizabeth Olsen is fantastic. You've seen WandaVision. You know how great WandaVision is. We're not going to receive a sequel to WandaVision. We're getting Agatha House of Darkness, and then we're getting a Vision spinoff. But yeah, WandaVision, complete S tier. Shang-Chi, A.
Oh, yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Fantastic. Tony Leung by himself elevates this from a B up to an A as the Mandarin, as the most dangerous man on earth, as Master Khan. He is fantastic in this movie. Which is not anything to say against any of the other people who act in this movie, but the reason why Shang-Chi is this high has everything to do with how great of an actor Tony Leung is, bringing both emotion and ferocity to the character of the Mandarin. Spider-Man 3, this is going to be low-key shocking. It's going to be low-key shocking. B. Now hold on. Chotomate. Hold on. Okay. I love Spider-Man No Way Home. I think it's the best out of the No Way Home movies. The problem is, if you remove all of the nostalgia from No Way Home, it's not a good Spider-Man movie. Or at least it's not a good Spider-Man movie for Tom Holland. It relies on the nostalgia bait to basically elevate it to a great movie. If I relied on nostalgia alone, this movie would be S tier. It'd be up here for me. But I enjoy this movie. I probably watch this movie like once every 2 weeks. I love every single person that they brought back for this movie, but I see this movie for what it is. It is a nostalgia bait movie where they brought back all of these characters from our childhood, knowing that we were going to love it, with a fairly decent, sometimes low-key kind of weak script that has fantastic acting from Tom Holland and, why did I forget his name? Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, I Can See Him, The Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson. What is going on? William Dafoe. There we go. Great acting from Tom Holland and William Dafoe. But yeah, B tier for me. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, C tier.
Overrated as fuck, in my opinion. I mean,
it was decent, but like I said, it's not memorable. I think the relationship between Falcon and the Winter Soldier, between Anthony Mackie and, I'm also whiffing on dude's name, Sebastian Stan, is fantastic. It definitely elevates the series. But what kind of brings it from, I would say, a B tier to C tier definitely has to be the quick turnaround that they did for John Walker's character, where they really should have pushed him all the way into the dark, so he ended up being a dark foil to what Captain America stood for. Instead, they kind of gave him like his redemption tour, like he didn't beat somebody to death in the middle of a town square with the shield. But you know, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, definitely a C. I'm looking forward to the Thunderbolts with Bucky, and then I'm also looking forward to Captain America New World Order with Sam Wilson as Cap. Moving on, we've got Moon Knight. Moon Knight is A tier. Absolutely fantastic. Like, woo, fantastic. Loved it. From beginning to end, absolutely fucking enjoyed it. I laughed, I cried, I got low-key emotional about some scenes, low-key pissed off about other scenes. What is there not to say, man? Oscar Isaac is fantastic. Moon Knight is great. I cannot wait until we get season 2. She-Hulk, I'm gonna put She-Hulk at B. I definitely enjoyed She-Hulk for what it was. I'm actually gonna move She-Hulk down to C. Because I was enjoying the ride that was She-Hulk until they derailed the entire show with the last episode. I think that the last episode, at least for me, fell flat. I know that for a lot of people, they're like, you know, Jen, and we know Jen breaks the fourth wall in the comic books a lot, but I really feel as though going that far off script with a fourth wall break and throwing out everything that we basically built up throughout the entire season was kind of jarring, and it majorly sucked because there were some really interesting plot points that now they just simply won't go anywhere. And if the show had introduced like that concept a lot earlier on, where we were seeing hints and shades of like these villains in a room talking about how they need to take down She-Hulk and bring her down a peg, and they're writing on a whiteboard and they're writing on a piece of paper and typing away on a keyboard, then it would have paid off in the end when you discover that these people are just like they're not even paid actors. They're just the script guys, where they're trying to churn out the script where She-Hulk can be bested in her own show by these generic villains and make it good and compelling. That would have been a way better introduction to that whole major fourth wall break, where like she walks into like the MCU, well, not even MCU, the Disney campus, and she goes straight to Kevin Feige, who's actually a fucking robot, because he is a robot in real life. But yeah, She-Hulk, I would say C. The finale definitely dropped it from a B to a C for me. Loki, S tier.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Absolutely fantastic. If you know anything about me and you go back all the way in this channel's history, you'll find all the videos and speculation stuff that I did for Loki. I fucking love this show. This show is great. It's great across the board. The show also asks this really, really weird question that I feel as though nobody really had an answer to, or at least I think you have an answer to, but you will never say out loud, which is, if you meet a hot version of yourself from a different timeline, would you date and attempt to bang that version of yourself? My man Loki said yes. And he is braver than me, because I do not know the answer to that question. He saw Sylvie and was like, "Will bang, okay." He turned into Shepard from Mass Effect in like 2 seconds. Everything about this series was great. The reveal of He Who Remains as Kang, Owen Wilson as Mobius, the main man Loki himself, whose name Tom Hiddleston. All of it fantastic. Loved it across the board. Cannot wait for season 2. Hawkeye, B.
Oh, yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Woo! I'll tell you right now, like, the way in which those trailers was looking, Hawkeye was going to be a D. But, like, when them trailers came out, it elevated, because it told an actual compelling story. Yelena's sadness and rage over the fact that Natasha was dead and needing to, like, get that closure with Clint. Kate looking for a mentor to basically take her under her wing, and under his wing, basically, because she saw him as the first superhero she ever saw and was enamored with him and the bow. And the relationship that ended up developed, where he kind of ends up adopting Kate as like another daughter. bringing back Wilson Fisk, tying in Daredevil, all of this stuff made this entire series good, and the fight scenes are also fucking good. Absolutely enjoyed it. Definitely deserves its B spot, because I feel as though it really shocked a lot of people who walked into this thinking that Hawkeye was going to be the weakest out of the Disney shows, and it ended up being pretty fucking solid and pretty fucking good. Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. All right, so here's something crazy, right? It deserves to be here, right? It deserves it. It deserves it. Okay? Here's the problem. After this, well, not even after, before this movie came out, another movie came out that did the multiverse better, which is Everything Everywhere and All at Once. And if you went and saw that movie first, and then you went to go see Multiverse of Madness, you were disappointed with what they gave you in regards to the multiverse, right? Like, you saw Multiverse of Madness and you were like, man, Everything Everywhere All at Once did this whole multiverse thing a whole lot better, man, seeing all these multiple different realities that she was living in. And then it was just kind of like, they introduce you to another version of Doctor Strange. He dies. It's our Doctor Strange. They throw you through around 10 slides of other multiverses. Then they plop you down in the multiverse he's going to be running around in for the next hour. Then you see another multiverse he runs around in for about 5 minutes. Then he's back to our original reality, and that's it for the multiversal globe hopping. They really should have spent more time showing the multiverse of madness. Multiverses that are like more multiverses that were half collapsed, half broken, that had been taken over by Dormammu's universe, that had fallen to someone who had gained their hands on the Darkhold. Like, there were so many great directions that it could have went in. And because of that, this actually falls here, which is to a C. It's decent. It's decent like Black Widow and Eternals and Falcon and Winter Soldier and She-Hulk. It is okay. And it's okay on the back of what is her name? Scarlet Witch herself. I can see her, Elizabeth Olsen. Because Elizabeth Olsen once again puts a movie like she did her show on her back and attempts to carry it across the finish line, and she damn near almost does it. Her fight scenes against the Illuminati are absolutely fucking fantastic. When she is in her emotions, I am in my emotions. It is great. But the problem is they promised us a multiverse of madness and they did not deliver. And that is why it is at a C. Now, of course, you're realizing that one thing is missing. That is Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because I believe that this tier list was made before Wakanda Forever came out. So if I was to put Wakanda Forever anywhere, I would put Wakanda Forever at B. Next to Spider-Man 3, Hawkeye, right here at the B. It is a good movie. I absolutely fucking enjoyed it, but there are a few flaws in Wakanda Forever that low-key aggravate me. If you want to know what they are, I made a video about things that like I didn't really sit well with me in regards to the movie. It's nothing like drastic or anything. There were just things that I feel as though were kind of holding back Wakanda Forever from being a top tier film. But yeah, this is the tier list. We've got S tier, WandaVision and Loki. We've got the A tier, What If, Miss Marvel, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight. We've got B tier, Spider-Man No Way Home, Hawkeye. We've got C tier, Black Widow, Eternals, Falcon and Winter Soldier, She-Hulk, and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And then we've got dead last, D tier, completely letting me down to the point where I wanted to fucking cry, Thor Love and Thunder. Let me know what you think about the list, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.